Hi, Hiking Jim here, and welcome to another episode of Adventures in Stoving. And what you see here is a alcohol stove. It's made out of beverage cans, the standard 16-ounce, 12-ounce beverage cans. This one is what is referred to as a closed jet type stove. And let me show you the top a little bit more here. If you can see, this is the bottom of a can, and it has a screw in it. And what you do is you undo the screw like that, and there's a hole, and that hole is where you put the alcohol. And it may be hard to see in this view, but there are small holes around the edge, and those are the jets. And when the stove gets hot, the alcohol inside vaporizes, comes out those jets, and then you burn that alcohol. Now, I just mentioned something. I said when the alcohol gets hot. Of course, how do you get it hot? Well, you prime it. And if you can see, there's a little tray. This is a very nice one. Someone just gave this to me. A friend of mine gave this to me. Anyway, there's a tray around the edge here, and you fill that with alcohol. And when you put alcohol in there, you light that alcohol on fire. It causes everything inside to heat up, and when that heats up, then you have vapor coming out, and you go ahead and ignite the vapor, and that's how it works. And when it goes to full heat and the alcohol is vaporizing well, then it's called blooming, and it looks sort of like a flower. Now, you can see here I've just picked up my lovely bottle of alcohol, pretty exciting. And what I'm going to do is take this little spout, and I'm going to put alcohol into the stove. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little more alcohol into the priming pan and inelegantly spill a little on the ground, but that's not going to hurt anything. Then I'm going to put the screw back into the hole, plug up the hole. Pardon me if my big thumbs are getting in the way. I'm going to put just a little bit of alcohol on the top. That's optional, but in that way, that alcohol will start burning as it gets hot, which will probably generally cause the alcohol coming out of the jets to bloom, or to ignite. Okay, and that's when the stove will go to full bloom. So I'm going to just use a lighter, and there we go. The stove is lit. Let me turn off the light here. We got that's probably a little hotter than we really needed it. I've got a bonfire. I probably overprimed that stove. This is the first time I've worked the stove, and so I probably overprimed it, and we're getting a lot of alcohol coming out of those jets. In fact, we're getting overpressurization where the jets are blowing themselves out because they're puffing up so high above the stove. But that's not an issue, or not a problem. It's going to settle down. The prime is going to end. And there, that's what it should look like, see? And we've got a nice set of jets coming out of there, and it looks just like the burner. Well, not just like, but looks very similar. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Looks like the burner on your stove at home, right? Just nice jets, and that's what a closed jet stove looks like. And then you would take your windscreen and pot stand and all that, and put it on top, and you're good to go. But that's the normal. I put too much priming alcohol in there, but this is what normal operation looks like. So we'll go ahead and put the windscreen around it, our combination windscreen and pot stand, and we'll go ahead and put our pot on. And this is a Snow Peak 600 milliliter pot, and we'll let it go. But anyway, that's how you prime a stove. You just put a little alcohol around the base and ignite that alcohol, and then when the alcohol inside heats up, it vaporizes, starts coming out the jets, and then you either ignite the jets separately, or like you can do what I did, is put a little alcohol up there. And if you put as much alcohol into prime as I did, you probably don't even need to put any alcohol on top, because you've got flames shooting up the side. That's it. Basic operation of a closed jet stove, alcohol stove. And I'm Hiking Jim, and this is another episode of Adventures in Stoving. Thanks for joining me.